this is a table which is extension of what we saw before about the Arabs in Bible code, but we have much more material here which really is teaching us about the time that we are living now, because everything which is written here clearly came true. And this is a portion of the Torah which is called Azino, Deuteronomy, a portion in which really Nachmanides, Vilna Gaon, all the future, past and present is there. Now, what we have here is the following. In Hebrew, I will read, Dor tapuchot hema, banim lo emun bam, and it means, Dor is a generation, tapuchot of changes. It means they are changing, their minds, their moods, changing from one extreme to the other. It means a generation of changes. And then God carries on and says, as this generation which is full of changes, lo emun bam, one cannot trust them, is not trusting them. Children on whom there is no depending, one cannot depend on them. And then God carries on and said, not only this, but em kineuni belo el, they violated my rights with that which is no God. Means they made God cross by serving or believing and using thing which is no God, really. And then God says, because of Yasuni be'avleim, they made me cross with vanities that they are dealing with. Yeah, so these vanities. And by this they made God very cross. And this we can see the sentence here. And then God says, because of this, I will punish them. So what I will do to them? So he said, Ani akniem, I will make them cross, angry. I will provoke and bring people which are not people. So, below no nation, like they served no gods, believed in physical things and vanities, so God also will bring upon them people, nation, which is no nation, no like Palestinians, like Hamas and Fatah, all these things, not nation like the others. And then God says, this is what I will bring upon them, begoy naval achisem. I will provoke them also with goy naval, a villain nation, people, and with no social feeling. I mean, this is really kind of very, very difficult people to work with, naval, villain, and this is exactly the Hamas. Now what is amazing that you find here down, the Hamas, and this really a finding which I found just before the Hamas was elected, that he will be elected. You see, a Hamas, minimal in the Torah, a Hamas, Yibacher will be elected to Rosh Rashut Palestinite, to the Palestinian Authority. Now Professor Rips checked it and he said that chances to have it is 1 to 80,000. Okay, so clearly fits with the previous part which says, God said, you made me cross with vanities that you are busy with, not trustful people, so then I will bring upon you this Hamas who will be elected, and this is exactly this kind of people, no people, and also not trustful, and definitely big enemies. Now this definitely causes problems to Israel, because they have to find all kinds of advices how to fight with them. Go over the Sotema. So this makes the people of Israel really looking all the time for advices to find the right advice way to fight these people. With Ashaf, the PLO, which is Arzal, the cruel PLO, which we know quite well how many people they killed in such cruel ways. Now God says, but the end will be כי הדין השם עמו ועל עבדה בתנחם כי ראה אוזלת יד ואפס אסור ועזוב. So in the end, God will judge his people and come to another decision for his servants when he sees that all their power is gone. And what one would keep or abandon is not there. It means that you will see that Israel in such a terrible situation when unfortunately their hands are loose. It means they are in such situations that they don't have, or perhaps they cannot really defend, fight, or take all these problems to uproot these problems. What they can do is only, as we see today, they build fence, separating fence, they make an iron dome, but all this to defend, but not uprooting these problems, because the enemies, the Hamas and Fatah and Jihad, all of them are shooting thousands of rockets, and still they are shooting, and the only thing which Israel can do is only to defend, but not to uproot, eradicate these evil forces. But God said, no, it will not last for a long time, because Zam Avada Vikom, God will take revenge for the blood which was shed by this Hamas and the other, and Nakam Yeshiv Lesarav, and he will take revenge from all this, and Bechiper Admato Amo, and his ground, his land, Israel, will be the atonement. And Ashiv Nakam Lesarav, God said, I will return this revenge to my enemies, which is the enemies of Israel, the enemies of God. And then Mashiach will come. See Mashiach, amazing, every 2 letters. And then, what you see more here is very interesting. So this is a sentence, right? This is a Hamas, and this is, as we said, that God says that He will judge the people. He will, because we see that they are loose and dead, unfortunately, and then He will take revenge for the enemies, and the blood of His servants, of the Jewish people, He will take revenge for. And then He will return to the enemies, and the land, Israel, will definitely atone for it. Then Mashiach will come, definitely at the same time, with this revenge will be on His enemies, and Mashiach is here. And then you can see here the minimal skip of the Arab. You see Arabim, Arabim. The Arabs is minimal skip in the Old Torah, and coming here the name of the evil angel of the Amalekite, of those nations who want to uproot, Chas v'Shalom, to wipe out Jews, and which is a Samael. And then you see in the end the promise of God, Eretz Canaan, Asher Noten Libnei Israel, the land of Canaan, which is Israel, I will give to the children of Israel as inheritance. So amazingly to see that really description all the time about Dor Tapuchotem, as it's a generation of changes and trustful, and making God cross with their vanities. And then God said, I will bring upon them also vain people with no nation, like the Hamas, and we said, and Hamas exactly appears here under, which was elected and causes us the problem. And then we see Ki Yadei Hashem, that Hashem really will judge them, because we see the situation of Israel, that really, unfortunately, what they can do is only to defend themselves, but not to uproot this evil, as we see, unfortunately, almost every day. Arabs are throwing stones, are wounding people, terrible thing which are every day, people cannot go on the street, they are attacked by Arabs, so a situation, terrible situation, but God will judge it, and in the end He will pay to these people. Avadav is the servants, whose blood was shed, and God will take revenge for them from the enemies, and the Israel, the atonement will be there, and they will get Israel back. No. And again, Mashiach come here, every 2 letters minimal, and as we said, all this part of this portion in Deuteronomy, Azinu, clearly shows the situation today. So let us really learn and understand that everything is from heaven, and the Torah, as we know quite well, that everything which is going on in the Torah is the blueprint of creation, So the only way to get really peace and quiet in the world is only by coming back to the ways of the Torah, as God says here, and then, only then, we'll have the full redemption coming in our time. Now we are a few days before Pesach, so the time when Elijah and Mashiach are supposed to come to redeem us. So let us hope that this is what will really happen.